6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes for this review of one of our best days we've had in a long time. Say best, maybe one of the easiest days we've had in a long time. I'm a little bit tired. I'm monged. I'll do my best to get through tonight. Let's just say I've got the kids cold. Right, anyone wants to be a member, bottom right, top of your chat thing, subscribe, 99p, all that sort of stuff. We've got some great prizes to give away, especially this month. Hopefully, once I get the go-ahead, I'll have a big £140 to be given away to all our members. So it's actually more than we make. Even though, please like and subscribe, share to your socials, help the channel grow. Super chats are available, bottom right-hand corner. Daniel says, even all, great result, just shows the gulfing quality between the teams. I thought Joe Linton was bossing the game before he had to go off. I agree. Absolutely agree. Just watch the highlights and you see it gets better every time it does, doesn't it? Les, I recorded the game and watched it live 3 times now. Brilliant, Graham. Hope they release the team photo in the general sale, make a fortune for charity. That's not a bad idea, that. They should do that, or the food bank should do it or something. Evening, Gary. Hope you're well. I've watched it 3 times too, says Andrew. Sent the match link. Evening, Basma. Evening, Andrew. I'm back. Evening, Steve. It's good to have you back. Indeed, Gary V. Watched it before this. Thank you. I did too. Right, let's bring Philip in first. Evening, sir. Are you there? I think he's froze. Always having internet problems. A bit like me. Right, let's bring Ian instead, making his debut. Hello, Ian. How are you doing? Can you hear me? Hey, Gary's there as well. Evening, Gary.
All right.
Awesome.
Hi, mate. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, it's very quiet.
Yeah,
We'll get through it.
Probably better now. Yeah.
Evening, mate. Philip, are you all right there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You keep freezing. I don't know if it's mine or yours.
I can't tell. Everything's slowed down as well. Evening, everyone. Evening, Baz, Gary, Ian. Evening to the chat.
Mate.
Good to see everyone.
I love it. I love it. Right. Evening, Philip, and welcome Ian and Gary. Well, we all know why we're here. I've got to quickly do the shout outs for the sponsors. Diacro, absolutely amazing. Please consider checking out the link below, Baz20, for your 20% off. Amazing t-shirts. And then we've got Football Prizes, who have come on board recently. Absolute amazing little company who run raffles for amazing prizes. They've got a Joe Linton signed, very unique framed shirt with 14 other prizes as well. So that'll be drawn on Wednesday. So get your tickets ASAP. But we're here to talk about the amazing result yesterday, a clean sheet at last, and a 3-0 riot of our rivals. We'll talk about the fans first of all, because there's been a lot of banter on Twitter saying there was no atmosphere for Newcastle fans and there was no atmosphere from Sunderland fans. I had to watch the game on silent because I was doing my watch along, so I didn't hear any of it. Ian, what was the atmosphere like for you?
I just think the Sunderland fans have been a little bit bitter, and rightly so. I mean, I think they tried their little best for a display that they put on before, which was, even my wife picked up one and says, "Why is their flag silver foil instead of white?" Which, I mean, my wife's got no interest in football at all. And to be fair, it was a great. I thought the club was, because we weren't allowed to take anything in. I thought the club were just one step ahead by producing us all with scarves, and it made a black and white wall, which I thought looked absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I heard the crowds from right away throughout the game. So that for me is just, I think it's not what people are making out to be. I think they're just a little bit bitter towards what we are.
Evening to be Philip, what do you make of the crowd? Obviously, I didn't hear anything because I had my TV on silent. So I hate doing watch-alongs when I can't listen to the commentary as well at the same time as doing commentary. But I want to hear the atmosphere. But Leeds must.
It was electric. There's no way that, I mean, a lot of those people, a lot of the folks there were lining up from, I think at St. James's from about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning to get onto the coaches. So why would they do
Wasn't
that?
It earlier?
Even even earlier. So why would they do all of that just to come to the stadium to be quiet? Like it doesn't. You don't do that. So they were exactly, and they were fantastic. And obviously, plus the team gave them plenty to shout about, especially at the end. So yeah, I thought they were brilliant.
I love it. Gary, did you like what the owners did for us? Kind of wish I got them just to get a free scarf now.
Yeah, no, exactly. That was spot on. Drink, snack bar. I heard people, Mackem's getting on about it, but what did they expect them to do? 6,000 bacon sandwiches? Like.
Oh, well, exactly. No, I mean, it's always going to be a cereal bar, wasn't it, or something.
I mean, friggin' hell, what they want? A hot dog, but like, van. 6,000 hot dogs.
Hot dog and a burger bun.
It's like, come on, man. They just, you know what it is? They just picked up on it because they've been tin pot all week. That's all it did. Yeah. And to be honest, I agree. First thing I thought is why they're waving silver flags. Because it's full-blown silver flags. And,
wasn't it?
But no, I think from what I heard on the telly, it was like, I think they were turning the volume down because there was a lot of swearing going on and stuff towards Adam Johnson and stuff like that. But you know, I think it was just one of those, wasn't it? It was just Sunderland are just bitter as hell. That's all it is. They're just bitter as hell because they've just realised how far behind they are from us.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
Our owners are top class. The cost of the buses, scarves, and making sure every single fan got in and out of the shithole safely. Can't actually praise them enough. And I mean, a lot of people have said that it kind of killed the Derby day a little bit because there was no argo before the game and stuff like that. But we don't want argo before. We don't want fights. We don't want people punching horses. We don't want all that sort of stuff, do we, really? I mean, I like a bit of, needle in it with fans, but as long as it stays, I don't know, I just don't like fighting, to be honest with you. I've seen the Huddersfield and Man City stuff on that bus or train or whatever it was. It was disgusting.
The kid, that little kid. I mean, that kid, he looked like he wanted nothing to do with anything what was going on there, and he's been on the receiving end.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of kids go to football matches now. It's the way modern day football is. There's a lot of women go. I mean, gone to the 80s and the 90s where it was just full of hooliganism. I mean, that's gone out of the game. And it's simply, I think it's a lot because a lot to do with media, obviously Twitter. Everybody can film everything what's going on. So for me, keep the violence out of the way of it. Let the football do the talking on the pitch and the fans take care of themselves. I mean, I think the police did a fantastic job. To be honest, do you really want to be that close to them arseholes? No. They'll just go out of the way anyway to cause bother and make us look bad. They've done it all by themselves. The owner's done it for us, rolled the red carpet out for us. We just took care of what we needed to do.
So did their owners roll out the red carpet too, but that's another.
Well, exactly. That's what I said to there was a Mackem on Twitter was basically saying all this sort of stuff. There was no fighting, there was no arguing before the game. I said, mate, you lost the game the day before when your owners rolled out the red carpet. As soon as those pictures were circulated, it was like this isn't a rivalry. Your rivals don't do that for you. We talked about it a lot, didn't we, Gary? You do not roll out the red carpet. You make that place as dingy as anything to make it uncomfortable for the fans and the players who are coming to the ground. You don't roll the red carpet out and say, the Premier League team's in town, and it's only Newcastle. We'll just let them in, without any shite. You've got to have a bit of needle, haven't you? But as long as it's fair, crack on. But what they did was stupid. I couldn't believe my eyes.
You know when I knew they had lost the game? Was when our players turned up and they couldn't get their phones out quick enough to record them coming in.
Exactly, that sort of stuff as well. They're obviously starstruck.
Yeah, they're starstruck seeing Champions League players and watching Bruno come through, and they were like that with and I'm thinking, and then and I knew then, I thought, yeah, yous are beat. And
I love it.
It was just, but the whole club's tin pot. It's been tin pot all honestly.
Doubt. And I mean, the game couldn't have gone any better for us, could it? I mean, I was getting a little bit worried when we passed 30 minutes, and I was thinking we haven't scored yet, and we've created some good chances here. But the goal, I mean, Isak would have scored, wouldn't he? But it was great work down the left. Gordon played a lovely ball to Joe Linton. Joe Linton right in the corridor of uncertainty, with pace, a bit of height, so the keeper can't just dive out and catch it and punch it away. The defender had to go for it. But because it was quite high, it made it difficult for him to get his foot on it. It hits his shin, flies in the top corner, and I just went absolutely nuts. And I was like, "That's it. I'm calm as anything now." Could the defender have done anything different, or was he just basically he's unlucky?
No, from minute one, we just looked a completely different team to what we've been these last couple of games. I mean, we seemed dead calm, dead collective. We took control of the game. And I thought Joe Linton and Bruno were just ticking along. Yeah, and Bruno was just on that different level where things need to happen. And there was a few times where we could have done better, but I think we've been a little bit harsh. It's Derby Day, Longstaff could have, for me, it was unlucky with his header, but the other chance where he put it over the bar.
I expected better.
Yeah. Now, getting back to what you said about the defender could have done better or whatever. This is what Almiron, we've been crying out for Miggy Almiron to do for weeks and weeks and weeks, where you get into good areas, you just put the ball into that mixer and ask questions of a defence, not cutting back to give your defenders a chance to defend the game. Just put it into that area where this is what I was saying for weeks and weeks and weeks. You can either get corners, own goals, or Isak would have been there to tap it in. Joe Linton was dead aggressive. That ball he put in was aggressive, and it deserved the goal. Because if you say, if he didn't put that in, Isak would have just been there for a tap in. We should be doing that against. It doesn't matter if it was Sunderland, Liverpool, getting into good areas where Almiron, especially on that side, should be swinging his right foot and putting it in and asking questions of defenders. And we deservedly went 1-0 up.
I'm going to talk about Almiron later on because there is a moment when he was brilliant and no one was there. We'll talk about it later though. Gary, the goal, the first one especially, do you think there's anything else that we could have done a bit better, or was it just a perfect goal? I know it was an own goal, but it's a perfect goal, isn't it? It's just like perfect goal. The fume is even worse.
Bruno started it with a fantastic through ball. Yeah. Gordon skinned the best right back in the world according to the Mackem. Joe Linton put a beautiful ball in. Ian was spot on when he said there, look, just put the cross in, anything can happen. I.e. Sean Longstaff placing it in the first half, and I'm shouting at the screen, will you just put your laces through that, because you've done that twice in this game now. The last time he did that was against PSG, and look what happened, right? Yeah. So it's like, you take a gamble. Joe Linton, just put it in the mixer, anything can happen. I could be being a bit harsh on him, but I'm not sure that goes in if that's Sean Botman. I could be wrong. I still think he was a bit unlucky, but Isak was going to put it in anyway, so it didn't make any difference. Right. And he tried, but I've just got a feeling the top Premier League defender might have cleared that. I could be being harsh on him, but
see, my take on it is if you put the ball in that's that quick with pace at that height, and you're running towards your own goal, it's so difficult to try and do anything.
Hook it away or flick it away, or
but you should be putting balls in like that to ask defenders questions, and rightly so. That's why I went 1-0.
But
I agree.
Isak was putting it in, so
1,000,000%. Yeah,
he had to do something, but he just bounced it up. So, but hey ho, it was deserved anyway.
Yeah. Well, the first half, Philip, for me, I thought Joe Linton was man of the match until obviously he had to go off injured. But the first half in particular, I just thought Joe Linton was an absolute beast.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I think actually both Gary and Ian are right about that goal. I think just leading up to that, I was seeing the old Newcastle back, the Newcastle 8-9 games ago, where we're just
the press.
We're the press. We're moving as a unit. The lines are good, and the gulf was just between our class was widening and widening. I think they were run ragged. So by the time the ball came in, they were running back because I think they were just shattered. I think they were shattered coming into the 30th minute. And yes, if it was Botman, he would have been better positioned, but he would have at least their team would have been in better positions as well. But it was a great ball in, and I think just leading up to that, we were beginning to recycle the ball. You know when Newcastle are really good, when we're sustaining attacks and we're just beginning to more teams, and they just can't get out their own box, and that's what was happening to them. And so exactly when that, and Joe Linton was showing why he's actually a left forward rather than a left midfielder. He just happens to be a very good at left midfield. He's showing his qualities there. It was fantastic. It was going to go in however he wanted to do it. Either let it go, let Isak do it, or whatever. But yeah, Joe Linton was having a fantastic game. Him and I know that Longstaff was probably the poorer of it wasn't as good as most players, but I liked what he was doing. What I was begging to do was for them to just protect behind Bruno, and they were doing that so well. And Joe Linton just added that by going and taking the ball forward and just showing everybody why he's bigger, stronger, and of better quality than most of the players on the pitch, really.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing that got me in that game why I thought we'd won it straight away is I noticed their best player, Bellingham, was man-marking Bruno at times. Now, for me, if your best player who's meant to go forward and score your goals and break into the box is sitting back, marking Bruno all the time, that to me is you've won the game because they know how good Bruno is and they put their best creative player on him. I was shocked.
Yeah. If you notice as well, I've just watched the game today. When they've kicked off, they play the ball back to Bellingham. Bellingham's misplaced the pass straight away, and we've got straight on top of it. Now, I just thought myself, again, we're on top of this straight away. Like their best player, don't get me. He is a quality player, by the way.
He is.
Yeah. And I just thought just little moments like that. But I mean, before the game, I was petrified of Bruno's temperament. I was petrified of Joe Linton's temperament, simply because the game before, where Joe Linton just basically ragdolled people about, he loses his head. I've seen a different Joe Linton go around that pitch yesterday, and he was dead calm. He just looked a completely different play. He looked dead composed on the ball. Him and Bruno were nice 1-2s. They were always on the front foot, and he'd done the ugly side good. I just thought he was fantastic, Joe Linton. Yeah,
he was. He was absolutely brilliant. It's a shame he's gone off injured. The other one that kind of frustrated me a little bit in the first half was Shaw, Gary. He played a lot of long balls yesterday when he didn't need to, trying to force the issue. And that was a bit frustrating because I'm just thinking, just keep control of the ball, keep moving it around, pass and move, make the triangles. And then we're getting frustrated and just lumping it and then losing it. I was like, oh, come on. What are you playing at? That's not like Shaw.
I think by the looks of it, I think Eddie had them on the training ground all week this week because I saw a different Newcastle. I saw a different Joe Linton. I saw a different Bruno. Shaw was trying a few things that didn't come off, right? But maybe they've been working on something in training. I don't know. Possibly. Then he stopped doing it. But yeah, he did the odd strange pass, but I think it was just like him trying a few things.
3 times. I was like, what are you doing? You've tried it once and it failed. Try it twice, but then 3 times. You're like, come on, mate.
Yeah.
Let's be a little bit more sensible.
I think the main difference for me yesterday was though the 2 wingers pressed like they normally do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we haven't seen that for weeks. And them 2 set the ball, and then all of a sudden the rest. I mean, Bruno was. I mean, we'll go on about players. Bruno's was just on a different level.
Different planet.
Everything on that pitch yesterday for me.
Yeah.
But why are you putting a 17-year-old lad onto Bruno who's an attacker?
Yeah.
When
they lost the game for me when they did that.
Well, I'm not a Mackem. I know nothing about Sunderland Football Club at all. But if I was their manager and I'd just come in, I would have put Dan Neil on him. Why are you putting Bellingham on him is beyond me. But I just think Eddie had them. Yeah, I think Eddie had them on the training ground, and I think everything just came into place from minute 1. I remember that misplaced pass, and I thought, you are nervous.
Do you not think the difference in the level of Bruno compared to them 2 Sunderland midfielders anyway? Do you not think it's so dangerous to even try and man mark them? And if you've watched games, Bruno, he's so good at getting the ball in tight areas and working in little tight spaces, and he always seems to get away from you or get free kicks in good areas. So I think it's suicidal.
Do you know what?
Getting close to.
Yeah. Do you know what, Ian and Gareth? I think they watched particularly the Nottingham Forest game, Luton too, but I think they watched the Nottingham Forest game, and I think most teams know this. If you can get the ball of Bruno whilst Newcastle are half the pitch, all that's left is the defense, and they get really exposed. However, this is a Newcastle that's had 6 days rest. I've been on the playing field, and I've been reminded that our best strength is us playing as a team, and we always had. I have a Sean Longstaff going, Sean Longstaff backing up, or Joe Linton, or at certain periods, you had even Gordon coming back to fill in that gap behind Bruno. And so Bruno was on song anyway. When Bruno feels protected, he even plays even better, and he can take even more risks and chances. And it was too much for them. So that's what I think. I think they watched a Forest game and they thought, right, get Bruno. and then spring on them. But it was
the thing is, though, they didn't watch the Forest and Newton game properly, because when they went on to Bruno, they waited until he was higher up the pitch. They were man marking him from goal kicks and everything.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking, what you're doing. If you're going to do the man marking, but you do it when he is higher up, because he hasn't got the pace to get back. And that's when our midfield in the past has been caught out. So that's why I was bemused by their tactics.
Their tactics were shocking. Like, trying to who told the Sunderland players to play out from the back against Newcastle's beyond me, man. PSG tried that shit. But that was PSG. You know what I mean? You're talking about like top quality players here. Yeah. They kept doing it and got caught time and time and time again because Newcastle just pressed them. And their tactics yesterday, they got absolutely nothing right the whole game. I was laughing my head off. It was the most comfortablest game I've seen this season. And the only time they had any joy was when Pritchard used his brain and thought, I think it's about time I need to run at the midfield a bit here. And that's the only time they did absolutely anything in the whole game. The tactics were dreadful.
They were absolutely shocking. Someone's putting, is there a link to join? Do you mean join the channel as in to be a member, or to join the live show? To join the live show, we set them all up before the actual game. If you want to come on in the future, drop me a message. I like listening to anyone come on. But if you want to become a member, the link's at the top of the chat. And it's 99p, 1.99, 2.99, or 4.99. It's up to you is what you want to pay, and it all goes back into the channel. Michael Bean is a shopping money. Yeah.
I think with Pritchard, I think he got sick of running around, so he became a little bit lazy and just started to play in that little hole where of games of late where we've been hurt. And they got a little bit of success. Dubravka's first save off him was absolutely, I thought was brilliant.
We'll come to that. Because that's the second half, isn't it? Just going to go into the first half stats, because I thought when I looked at the stats at half time, I was like, oh my days. This was meant to be a team that was meant to be getting at us. We're going to be scared of their atmosphere and all this sort of stuff. We had 72% of the possession. They had 28%. They had one shot on goal, which was from 35 yards that was blocked on the edge of the 18-yard box. We had 6, 2 on target, which is where we were probably a little bit sloppy. Like you mentioned, Longstaff's chances, the header he had, which went straight at the keeper. What was the keeper doing with that one, by the way? It was weird. Hit his chest and went down. We had 3 shots off target, and the goal came from an own goal. So it makes it look even worse, the stats, because of that. But going into the second half, I mean, we scored the second within 3 minutes, wasn't it? 30 seconds, was it? Oh, God. I can't even remember what time we scored the goal. But again, it was just euphoria. And this is why, for me, Miggy should never get criticism at times sometimes, because he made that goal a bit like he did against Brentford last season. I remember that one when he, with the high press, Tottenham last season away, high press, got the ball and then scored. This time, he nicks the ball off the defender right on the edge of the box. Now, he could have scored himself potentially, but he was unselfish. He realised Isak was in a better position, and then he just smashed it in the top corner. In the end, that was like game, set, and match, wasn't it, as soon as that went in?
I mean, you've picked up on before there with the intensity of Almiron, and it was the PSG game that sort of like I saw.
Yeah.
Especially that first half, and I mean, when he starts like that, I think he just grows in confidence and he gets better and better. When things aren't quite going his way, kind of like drifts about and comes in and out of the game, but he was constantly at it against them. And again, they didn't learn the lesson. They tried to play out
from the back all game, didn't they?
But as much as your manager must want you to play in a certain way, right? Players' management on the football pitch has got to come into it as well. By saying this ain't going to happen, I'm just going to let the goalkeeper put a foot through the ball and get us up the pitch, and it just didn't, and it just fell into our hands. Great pressing from Miggy, and I thought Isak's finish was dead clever because he's seen the centre half come across and he just placed it to the other side. I was running around. I just couldn't believe. It was absolutely fantastic. Just that was game over. We're never ever coming back from 1-0, never mind 2 now.
Yeah, exactly. Gary, quality from Miggy for me. Absolutely brilliant high press, good tackle, good awareness, and Isak was just cool as anything, wasn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Miggy Almiron is the most frustrating footballer in the world because I have slated him for weeks. I didn't want him to start yesterday because I thought he was too soft, and then he goes out and puts in a performance like that. So 1, he can tackle. 2, he can. He's not scared. 3, he crossed the ball 3 times with his right foot, which caused problems.
I think that's what I'm going to come on to later on, because there was a moment where I was going off it on the live stream, and it was when Miggy went down the right wing and he played a lovely ball across in the corridor with his right foot. But Gordon was whinging on the left wing like he never got the ball before it went over to the right. And I was like, Gordon, get your fucking self in at the back post, man. Anything could happen. And the one time Miggy puts a ball in like that and Gordon's on his back.
Yes.
I was like,
Well, I mean, do you know what it is? I think Roy Keane summed it up when he said, you go in at half-time, you're 1-0 down the derby, you come out and you go, right, we're still in it, let's go for it. And they try to play the ball out the back, lose it. Bob, 30 seconds later, 2 out, game over. And just like that, and I thought but you know what it is? Even after that, they kept doing it again, trying to play out from the back. And
which is fair play. I mean, remember when we first got took over and we kept on trying to play out from the back and we made mistakes like the Leicester game when we got absolutely hammered.
Yeah, but we're good.
Yeah, we are now. We weren't good at it when we first started. I'm just saying they're trying to play football.
I'm delighted they're trying to play football, but seriously, it's like they're not very good footballers. So it's like telling me to, I don't know, do exactly the same thing. Like pop on a Newcastle top and give me the ball and tell me to play it out and pass it like Botman does. It's not going to happen. And when you're that bad, you need to use your brains as a manager and players and going, right, we're playing a much better side here. We need to go back to basics. And it was just, I don't know. Well, I'm not complaining. It was a beautiful finish by Isak. And it was a clever finish. And what made it even funnier was the people falling down the stairs when they get the goal, when it so it was a massive collapse behind the goal. And but
fans as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just, but it was game over. That was it. The game was done then. I mean that the player who gave it away, I can't remember who it was now, but he literally put his shirt over his head and thought, "Oh, I cannot believe I've just done that."
Alisi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ajibola Joshua Alisi, I think so. I think it was him. He knew as well. He looked like he was going to throw up when he made the mistake.
Well, I just honestly, it might work in the Championship, but it's not going to work against the Premier League team. Absolutely no chance. And I think you've seen in the FA Cup this weekend that even the close games, the Premier League quality shone through. Bournemouth it did at QPR and stuff like that. And yesterday it was just they're worse than I thought they were. I was expecting like a performance from people like Jack Clark. I thought he was going to cause problems. He was non-existent. Trippy had him in his back pocket, and it was. But I don't think it was just the players either. I think the whole tactics from them was just wrong from minute one. And our press you said it the other day, Bas, you said our press will be too much for them, and it was.
Yeah.
From minute one, it was too much. And maybe it's because Eddie's got them on the training ground again. Injuries are getting better, the players are getting fitter, and maybe that's got something to do about it. Dubravka's looking much more confident now than he was.
I think that was ring rust with him, I really do.
Yeah. The defence look more confident now since Botman's come back into it. Nothing against Lascelles, but they do. And Trippier being back was a massive boost. And it was
Everyone wanted him dropped.
Everyone
wanted him dropped. Everyone said, don't play Trippier.
Well,
I'm like, oh, God.
I just wanted him to have a break, you know what I mean? And just one game off, like Liverpool he did. Just have a game. Go and sort your problems out, which he clearly did. And he was back the old Trippier yesterday. And it was, but yeah, the goal, Miggy's press started the goal. And if he didn't do that, then it's not a goal. So, but it was a beautiful finish. Isak, Isak's one of the coolest finishers I've seen. Like, I mean, you know what it is? I think he could get a penalty in the last minute in a Champions League final and just place it in the bottom corner with not a care in the world. He's that type of player.
Oh, it's great. I love him. I love him. Philip, anything else to add to the goal?
No, look, I think they got to know right from the beginning what the difference between the Premier League team and the Championship team is right from the beginning, and it was just good to see us pressing with intention. It, especially the last couple of weeks, our lines are so far apart between each other. So once the press is broken from the forwards, I wasn't worried because the midfield was right there, the defense was right there. Everyone felt more comfortable pushing up. I just felt overall confidence from the team. And the layer from Almiron was really, really good, really, really calm. He was feeling himself a lot more. You can tell that he was like, I don't know what it was, how I said to him, but he seems to be back on song. And Isak
might have been a rest, maybe. Might have been a rest. I don't know. 6 days off to recharge the batteries. Yeah,
exactly. But he was playing with real intent. And Isak, one shot, one kill. Isak that's all he needs. And even our rivals are all sitting up and saying that Isak, he's something else, isn't he? Yeah, he is.
100 million plus striker, and he wears the black and white. He's getting there. He's getting there. Obviously, a lot of people were screaming for a penalty in the first half. It wasn't a penalty because the actual contact started outside the box, but possibly could have been a red card. But obviously they played on, which was absolutely ridiculous. But we finally get our penalty in the second half, which was 100% a penalty all day long, wasn't it? But it's brilliant from Gordon, because Gordon is the biggest shithouse I've ever seen of being able to draw fouls, and then he just boom, he just puts on the accelerator when the strikers or defenders coming in and takes him out. And it worries me a little bit, though, because he draws all these fouls. He's going to get injured from one of them. But it's so clever at the same time, isn't it? Because you can see the Sunderland defender's not going to slow down. And all he's thinking, I'm just going to knock this in front of me. I'm going to take the hit, and I'm going to go down and win a penalty. And it's about the 4th time he's done that this season, I think, in the same area. I think he's been brilliant at it.
I mean, it all started on the halfway line. I mean, Isak, 9, I mean, that tackle, he just made him look absolutely stupid. 9 goes for the ball and play and just misses everything, and Isak just kind of rides around it and then just plays a lovely ball. And then Gordon's pace, they played one of the worst offsides I've seen as well. The centre half was about 6 yards off. And then puts his hand up and he has a look and goes, oh shit, that's that him, we'll give the ball away for the second goal. So then he's recovering flat out, and then Gordon's absolutely flat out with the ball, and then he just decides to shorten his stride and then do it again to just draw the penalty. And I was laughing my head off because I thought, do you know what it is? That's so clever how he draws all these fouls. But Jack Grealish does exactly the same. He always takes hits. He always gets good fouls in good areas. And I just think, I don't think he'll get injured off it, but I think he'll carry on doing it. And he's our shithouse. And I mean, he was a shithouse for Everton. He was a shithouse for Everton.
He was. But he's our shithouse now.
He's our shithouse now, and long may it continue. If that gets us goals and points, I'm not bothered. I mean, his attitude's fantastic anyway, so if that's part of his game, I'll be all on board with that.
Yeah. Philip, Isak steps up sends the keeper the wrong way. It's just the icing on the cake, wasn't it, in the end?
So,
yeah, Philip, yeah.
So I thought you said Ian for some reason. Yeah, I had no worries about Isak taking the penalty. He's just deadly cool with it. Fantastic finish. And that's what, 3 goals in a week now for him? It's not bad going. Not bad going at all.
It's not bad, is it, Gary? Especially when he sends the keeper the wrong way the way he did, because he opened up his body like he was going to go in that corner, and he obviously sold the keeper the eyes with his body and then just cut across it and put it in the other corner. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was Ronaldo used to do that. He used to think it's funny how they shape the body to do that, because you think they're going there and then they just sort of twist and putting it. You can't save them. I mean, they're just in very like it's soon in mind when you watch him, he looks like I think he does it on purpose. He like puffs his cheeks out and he stands there and he'd close his eyes and stuff like that. And he blatantly knows what he's going to do, and he's just doing it he did it for us last season and all, where he put it in beautifully in the last couple of minutes or whatever it was, and he's just fantastic player, and that's why he's on the back of this shirt, because I think he's just absolutely top quality.
I mean, can I ask you?
Yeah, of course, can.
He's two goals, right? Do you think because obviously Bruno was constantly on, he had a fantastic game. I thought he had a quietish game, but just stepped up to the important parts of that game and just was so professional, and that's what top players do. Do you think he had a quiet game? I thought he did.
Yes and no for me. You know, Isak reminds me of a bit. He's not the same type of player, right? But is Erling Haaland, right? Because Haaland cannot be in a game, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's 1-0, and that's Isak as well for me. I think when you watch him, right, he might not be doing much, but he pulls defenders out left, right, and centre with these runs, and this is what Callum Wilson doesn't do for us. Callum Wilson at the minute is trying to use his strength when he gets the ball and try to barge players off, where Isak's trying to pull players out of the way, and he looks like he's not in the game much. But what he's doing off the ball, he is. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, where you're saying like, because I saw him, he was in for man of the match yesterday, but for me, he wasn't in the top 3-4 for me. And I could be being harsh on him because he's the new Mackem slayer now, and but it's like I get where you're coming from, but he's a bit like Haaland. Haaland's never in the game either. There he is. But yeah, I tend to agree. Yeah,
he's different to for instance, like I'll say one of my favorite for us most recent times, probably Demba Ba. So Demba Ba is fast. His goal attributes, but he's also very physical, and you can almost see him having an impact on the opposition, whether he has the ball or not. Isak is how Gary said, he's more of a mover, and you have to kind of see how he does his movements. I think it's probably one of my favorite games was against Man United, but that was like an overall performance for the whole team. And you can just see how good he is when he drops in, and then he goes around the defenders, goes around the midfield. But Sunderland were so tired by then that they weren't even really following him. So there wasn't much to do. So it wasn't as in the game as it was. Plus, Gordon and Almiron were on song. So they were sharing a lot of the workload for him. He just had to keep on moving and making sure he's in the right place at the right time, really. And that's what happens, really, when the whole team. So for me, Bruno was just about man of the match. But that's because Joe Linton, Longstaff, and at times Gordon were behind him. And Isak did what he needs to focus on, which is scoring goals. And he was able to do that because our midfield was shored up. Our pressing was shored up, and he was just looking a lot more effective. And obviously, Sunderland aren't a typical Premier League, they're not Premier League opposition at all. So he didn't get to, Isak didn't really need to step up more than 2 gears really into that game to see that. But you're right, he wasn't as visible as the other players, but he was decisive where he needed to be. Yeah.
That's what you want from a striker sometimes. Remember Andy Cole? Andy Cole never got involved in gameplay. He just wanted to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what we want from strikers as a number 9 at times. But Isak has the cleverness to come deep when he needs to. He has the cleverness to go out to the left as well, like you say, drag players out of position. We used to say this about ASM a lot, didn't we? ASM can be just as dangerous off the ball as he was on the ball if he just learned to drag defenders out of the way and create space for other people, which unfortunately he only started learning just before he went, which was a shame. But anyway, that was the end of the game. It finished 3-0. We got the picture that we've all been waiting for. It's been a long, long time since we had a picture. But this sent the fume gate massively on the Sunderland fan. I mean, there's loads and loads of tweets going around now saying if they just won a cup, if they won a trophy, even Hairy Hands got involved saying, look how they're celebrating. If they won the World Cup or something like that. It's just like, these people don't understand what a unity is, do they, when it comes to a fan base? Everyone cries out their clubs for the players to be more visible, for the club to be more visible, to interact with them more. And when we do it, they're jealous of it. It's as simple as that. And the fume gate was just absolutely huge. Now, Bruno got man of the match on TV, but then they give it to Isak in the tunnel, which was a bit strange. He got the reward. But who do you think the highest rated player was on the day?
I only know because I looked on SofaScore.
You be quiet then. Who's the highest rated player on the pitch yesterday, in stats-wise? Have a guess, Ian.
Trips.
Nope. Gary?
Bruno?
Nope. Miggy got an 8.6 rating yesterday on SofaScore. And the reason why, basically, he got an assist. His passes were 38 out of 42, 90%.
Wow.
His ground duels, he won 10 out of 13 ground duels yesterday. That just shows you he's back to his best with a high press. He only lost possession 7 times. He made 1 clearance. He made 9 tackles. He was only dribbled past once. You know, I know Miggy is so frustrating, doesn't use his right foot enough. He's not scoring or assisting enough, but he is key to that right-hand side, the way he runs in field and drags players away for trips to get down the right. And when he's on that high press, he is on it. And the closest rating next to him was Isak with 7.8, and he only got a 7.8 because he scored 2 goals. You know, so that tells you how good Almiron was. But Almiron was never in the equation yesterday for man of the match, was he? Everyone was talking about Bruno, who got a 7.5, Joe Linton, who got a 7.4. You know, but Miggy was the one who really, stats-wise, keeping the ball, winning the ball, all that sort of stuff. Miggy was the best player on the pitch yesterday.
Well, he was my second man of the match. He was behind Bruno just. Yeah, he was. I've been brutally honest there. Purely based on the fact that he set a goal up and his press was fantastic. He was a threat from minute 1. And that's why you get frustrated, because this player is, it's like if you can do it away to Sunderland, right? I know they're a championship team, but if you can get stuck in like you did yesterday, you can do this at home to Nottingham Forest or whoever it is. And I thought he was on it yesterday from minute 1.
It's got to be fatigue, though, and I know no one wants to talk about it. Everyone hates hearing about it, but there's something was not right with that Newcastle team for a good few weeks, and it's got to be because of fatigue.
I mean, look, you could pick a number of people. I thought Trippier was great yesterday. I thought Gordon was great yesterday.
7.7 trips. He was 3rd highest rated player. So he was back to his best.
Like I said, Bruno dominated the whole game for me. Joe Linton was an absolute beast in the first half. And if he'd stayed on, he probably would have got man of the match.
I reckon he probably would have, to be fair.
But it was just like, I don't know. I thought Miggy had a cracking game yesterday. And I've been slating him for a couple of weeks now. But I thought yesterday he was on it.
He was definitely on it. Right. Quick shout out, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the show. Don't forget about our amazing sponsors, Diet Crow. Got another $40 gift card to give away this month. Use code BAZ20 to get 20% off in the shop. Link is below. Some amazing t-shirts. We're going to have to get a new Mackem Slayer t-shirt though, and get 14 on the back instead of 23. Football prizes, a new sponsor who's come on board. They're absolutely amazing. They do amazing raffles. The prizes are unbelievable. So consider purchasing some tickets from them. Link is below. An amazing Joe Linton shirt they're giving away. We'll talk about Dubravka because, I mean, we've all said we need a new goalkeeper. it might have just been ring rust, Ian, but his 2 saves you alluded to earlier on. The second one, especially the one-handed save, was brilliant. And the way he pushed it out of danger. That's the always thing I look at when a keeper makes a save. Where's he pushed it to? And he pushed it as far out as he could on the bar line, which made it difficult for the Sunderland players to run in and get a consolation. But he was brilliant yesterday for the little that he had to do.
He looked when the players lined up in the tunnel before the game. He had a right serious face on, and I just felt he knew what it meant. And to be honest, with the January transfer window open, I think he must have thought, this is the game where it can either go one way or the other for me. And I think he stood up. I think he really stood up and be counted. He caught the ball first half. He went to catch it. He caught it. He went up and caught like here and kind of went down. I thought, oh dear. And then from that minute on, inside catch, I just thought he got better and better and better. But I mean, the first save of the deflection, that was a good one with his legs as well. It was.
Very great save. But the one with the one hand was better for me. I thought that was a brilliant save.
I mean, Pritchard found that little hole and he curled it past 2 players, and Dubravka's hand was strong hand to push it away. And I just thought it was a fantastic save. It was brilliant. I thought he had a fantastic performance. He did. For having a quiet performance when he needed to stand up and be counted, he was good. He done very, very well.
I'll tell you one keeper who wouldn't be able to save that one-handed save.
There he is.
There's no way those arms are getting anywhere near that ball, I'm telling you. Gary, we've obviously talked about Dubravka a lot. We don't need a keeper now, do we? Till at least the summer. That's when we should start thinking about it. Because Dubravka's 34 now, isn't he?
34.
34. So,
I remember when Pope got injured, I was fine with Dubravka. I thought he's a good goalkeeper. And then when he came in, I'm thinking, oh shit, we might have to go and get somebody here because he didn't look on it at all. But recently, I mean, Liverpool, he was fantastic. And today,
would have been 9 if it wasn't for him.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't know what you think, but I thought it was a great save that he made. But fuck me, was I screaming at the TV telling them midfielders. Because,
again, that's when Joel Linton went up, didn't they seemed to get a little bit more space than what they were getting in the first half.
Well, I remember he kept running, and I'm thinking, is anybody going to tackle him? That was the only.
He did it because he hit the top of the bar as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that was the only problem I had yesterday. Was when Joe Linton went off. At times, we looked open, right?
I think Riley looked a bit nervous, didn't he?
Yeah, I completely agree. 100%.
He gave the ball away quite a bit, and his positional play he looked quite naive, and I think that's why they found that little bit of space, mate. I think.
I mean, you know what it is, and I know it's all ifs and buts, but I think if Tonali had been fit and Tonali, Bruno, and Joe Linton would have been in the midfield, it could have been 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. I think Tonali would have been right on it by now. And at times, I just think my midfield in the second half went a bit missing. And that I'm not having a go at them. I just think it just shows the need. Like, if you just had a number 6 in there, if Joe Linton's injured, just put a 6 in there. That team will transform. That team will absolutely transform. And
that's 6 again. We keep talking about it.
As for a goalkeeper, he's proved enough for me that we're being out the Champions League as well and stuff like that. I'd stick with him till the summer. I don't see any need to go out and buy.
I mean, Pope will be back fit next year. I know we talk about his feet and all this sort of stuff, but I think we've come to appreciate Pope a little bit more with his fantastic ability to save shots that no other keeper can probably save. And then you've got to try and balance that with someone who can play with their feet. You're not going to find a Pope who can play with their feet, are you? So,
I mean, you could look at it this way as well. Man United seem to have a habit of destroying goalkeepers at the minute, and he did spend time at Man United, so maybe he was rusty from being at them for a bit. But I think he's a lot more confident now, and the defense seem to be more confident. You know what it is, Dubravka? Look, there's nothing against Lascelles, but Dubravka might feel more comfortable because Botman's there now. There's numerous things that it could be, and It just
that's nothing against Lascelles either, though.
No,
because
it's not.
Lascelles
I think
has
he's
been
done
fantastic
cracking
as well. I think you're right.
Botman's just a different
class,
like level of class. And
no, there's no more news on Joe Linton yet. Has anyone got any news on Joe Linton? I think he's been assessed today, wasn't he? Nothing's come out.
Well, Eddie brought him on second half. As soon as the goal went in, he took him off. And I think they were just giving him to see how he was. But
I think as soon as it went 2-0 up, he just thought, right, we won this game.
Yeah.
We need to take him off, which is great to see from Eddie Howe, because in the past, he wouldn't have done that, because the rest of the substitutions were made on the 93rd minute, which was just wasting time. And he brought on about 4 or 5 at once. So that was a bit crap for me.
I think it would be all right personally, but I could be wrong.
I hope so.
I think it'd be all right.
Philip, Bruno knew.
Yeah,
I'm sure there was. Is this Bruno playing the game, by the way? Because I think it is.
Yes, it is Bruno playing the game.
He posted it a while ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the fume from the Sunderland fans from this one has been brilliant, though, isn't it? I mean, there's 1.3 million views on this one tweet. Philip, it's just mint.
I just hope that Tonali wasn't next to him when he did this picture. But but it did really well. Look, the players understand it. Like, it's good to see him doing that. Again, shows you the whole reason why they took the picture as well. I don't know if you saw. It was Tyndall who arranged it, like literally on the spot, like Jason Tyndall. It's like he was clapping, and it looked like you could almost see like a cartoon, you know, like a light bulb flashes above somebody's head, and it just connected. It's like, oh, hold on, this is great. He put everybody together, and it was just like, I'm like, oh my word, God help us.
You see that Sunderland employee walked right in front of the picture as well with the corner flags.
He did. God help us once we start winning trophies and leagues, or if it's with Tyndall and Howe.
That was genius from Mad Dog, man.
It was.
That was pure genius from Mad Dog. Because it was all him. It was his idea. I've seen the video, and I'll tell you what, how to rub it in somebody's face to do that.
This is it. It's just shithousery at its best. I love it.
Genius. Honestly, it's pure genius.
It's also, like I said, we needed this victory. We needed to, wanted to remind them the team what it's like to win. It's been 8 games. And so I know people got to start going, oh, it's championship. It's better than losing. It's better than drawing as well. So, just remind the people them enjoy this win and savor these moments. And then we've got Man City next.
Villa away after that.
Our
next picture might not be for another 3 weeks.
No, I hold no fear towards them. I hold no fear towards them. No, not at all.
I do. Not Villa at home. Because we're not a very good hunting ground for us. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
I need to highlight this. I thought this was absolutely brilliant from Gordon. The Sunderland player did his best to hold on to his shirt for as long as he could. He ended up ripping it. And then he just went, yeah, mate, after the game, you can have it. No worries. I thought that was one of the best shithouseries of the day as well. Absolutely brilliant. And like you say, he's our shithouse, isn't he? Well, we've got to talk about Isak. And I've got to talk about him again before we end the show, because a lot of people have said he's not a striker, but his stats are phenomenal. He's literally second to Haaland in the Premier League at the moment. That's how good he is.
He's a striker. He is a striker.
He can play on the left and he can play on the right, but he is dominantly a striker. He's just not an out-and-out striker. He does more stuff, and that's him literally owning the whole Sunderland team, which I thought was an absolute brilliant picture. This picture is going to be impossible to put up in a few years' time because he's going to be owning that many football clubs. But the one thing that frustrates me just having Isak is Wilson is injured too much here. Would you go out and buy another striker in this window? Because the rumours are we want a striker and a DM.
Yeah. I was just, before you were on about that, I was just about to say it's just such a shame that he's made a cotton wool. And he keeps like getting into his stride, and then he just gets knocked back a little bit, and they were playing tit for tat with each other. Like when Wilson would be fit for a little bit, then all of a sudden we'll have Isak for a little bit, and it's, to me, I think the 6 is pivotal. This transfer window, I really do, to strengthen us in that department, especially with us obviously losing Tonali. But the centre forward, He's got to. It's just, and I don't. For me personally, I would go for a forward that'll play down the middle. We've got enough cover for out wide. We just need somebody that plays straight through the middle. And I think there was rumours of him with a £15 million release clause for him.
Greasy or whatever he's called. Yeah, the Stuttgart striker. Yeah, I would take the risk on him. I really would.
And I mean, for that price, you're not going to get very many forwards coming in around about that money. I think he's wait for the AFCON as well, isn't he? But what they were saying is that they don't expect his side to get very far in the competition, so it could be a gamble on that, especially with having 2 weeks off. It could. You've got to bring it forward in, and especially with financial fair play. If we do, which is looking more and more likely, with Juventus pulling out on the Phillips, hopefully get Calvin Phillips in on loan, and if we have to spend 15 million, surely it's well within financial fair play, and then that'll strengthen us with two top signings.
I agree with that. Philip, you can also hopefully maybe add Jota in there, who's obviously used to play for Celtic and he's not got a squad number in Saudi Arabia. Get him in on loan as well. Can you imagine Jota, Greasy and Phillips is a free that you sign for 6 months? And obviously the striker will be for permanent, but that's not a bad window.
It wouldn't be, but I think Jota's going to Tottenham because I think he was obviously...
Really?
Yeah, he played for Ange before with Celtic, so they got that connection there. Greasy's a very good shout. He's very similar profile to Solanke, to Calvert-Lewin, so you can kind of see where the rumours are coming for him. My only thing is that with such a low release clause, are there clubs clamoring for him? I don't know, because I'm not hearing too much in terms of competition. Maybe I'm wrong. For 15 million, but
he hasn't been great in general in his career. He's just hit a patch now, hasn't he, in that league where he's scoring a lot of goals. And strikers, sometimes it happens to them. You've just got to hope that patch continues when we sign him.
Yeah, sometimes it could be it could be an Indian summer, because I was watching SofaScore's kind of documentary on him. It's not documentary, but a little like review on him, and it was. Yeah, he kind of went. It was a bit of a nomad almost, but then they think that this is truly him. Like in terms of this is the quality that he does bring, and he just come to be at the right team at the right time. So I really like him. If he is all that and a bag of beans, let's get him. I just don't know. I don't know. But I think, I don't know. I suspect they're gonna. They're talking about Somerville a lot, but I don't know why. I keep on thinking they're gonna get a DM and the right centre back rather than a forward just yet. I think the forward that they want isn't necessarily available in this summer. I don't know if they really want someone, but you guys could be right though. I don't know if that's the thing, isn't it? We can't really rely on Isak to be fit from now until the end of the season. That's the only concern. So,
and when is Wilson back? Is he going to stay fit when he is back? We all know he's going to get injured again. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't see them getting him because he's supposed to be. I almost wonder though, because he's gone to Dubai, and I'm almost I think he's gone with his family. I saw the picture. Then I'm almost wondering, is he going to sell the picture to his family and said, "Oh, Dubai isn't so bad, is it?"
This is what I said.
How about we'll go this summer? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I honestly think we could sell him to Saudi Arabia, and he goes and lives out there, and we get some FFP money, and then we replace him. Especially if this guy in Germany is only worth 15 million, it's pocket change, really, in a way, when you think about it, for someone who scored those kind of goals.
Look what we did for Chris Wood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. True. But we didn't know that Chris Wood was.
You've got to take a gamble sometimes, haven't you? Yeah, exactly. He was, wasn't he? At St James's Park, that one game that. Gary, final word on Isak?
Superb. Fantastic. What more to say? Fantastic player. Wilson, need to get a striker. Sorry. I love the guy. He's been great for it, but can't stay fit, man. He'll come back in 4 weeks and he'll be injured again. And his body's just given up on him. It really is when it comes to football. And I don't know.
I just think if he goes to the Saudi League with the heat and the actual standard of their games, he won't be using his full body all the time. Where in the Premier League, you have to be at 100% all the time.
We are going to burn Isak out if we do not get somebody in to help him out.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can't afford that. So
no, definitely not. And I always said, if you want to win a Premier League, you want to be in the Champions League, you want to win the FA Cup, you want to win the Carabao Cup, you've got to have 3 strikers.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Right, final word for the night, guys. It's just basically a fuck off Mackems. We've absolutely battered you. All the chat leading up to it just got through under the carpet when you put out all those pictures got put out. If you were rolling out the red carpet for us, you can have your 6 in a row. Not really that bothered about that anymore. We've actually finally put an end to it all. We've beat them in their backyard as well, which makes it even better. And the next time we play you again, it'll probably be even worse. But who knows? We might never play you again because you might never even get to the Premier League. That's how bad you are. Right. Thanks to Ian. Thanks to Philip. Thanks to Gary for coming on. Don't forget to go over to Toon Tactics TV and subscribe to his channel as well. Don't forget about this channel. Please hit the subscribe and the thumbs up. And please show some love to our sponsors, Diacro, and all sorts of football prizes. Links are in the description. Some amazing stuff, especially this Joe Linton frame shirt. I wish I was winning that because it looks beautiful. And there's 14 other prizes up for grabs as well. So, yes, please consider all that. And thanks for tuning in, as always, guys. And we will see you. What day are we on? We're on Sunday. Tuesday night. I'm going to do a transfer show on Tuesday night. So we'll see you back then. Take care till then, guys. Thank you much.
Guys.